What is up, guys? ChewySlayer is back today, guys. And today, guys, I want to talk about Infinity War. I want to basically give you guys my personal opinion on it and where I would rate it. So let's go ahead and jump into this. So the first thing I want to say about this movie overall is it honestly, to me, felt rushed. Not that it was a terrible movie. No. It just felt like it was a big story they were trying to tackle. If you guys don't know, in the comic books, I think it was at least 10 plus comics, maybe a little bit less or more. I'm not 100% sure on the number, but it was a really big story for them to tackle here with Thanos and the Infinity Stones and the Infinity War. And it felt like they were trying to get this all done in one movie. And I felt like because they did that, it kind of did some injustices, which I won't talk about here because it'd be a little bit too spoilery, but that's just my honest opinion just going into it. I will be honest here, though. My expectations going into the movie were probably higher than most. Mainly because the fact is I actually tried to read some of the comics before I even went to go see this movie. So I had some background knowledge of what's going on, or like what Thanos' goals are and like why he's doing this in the first place. And one thing I will point out here real quick, the comic book reasons are not here for Thanos. They're completely different. And they try to make him seem more human with the reasons now, which I can understand from a story standpoint might be a good thing. But sometimes, I'm just going to say this, you just want a bad guy to be a bad guy. And it felt like Thanos should have been that guy. Instead, they try to make him what he didn't seem to be in the comics. And that kind of bugged me. It kind of made me grit my teeth when I found out the actual reason behind what he was doing. Like, it didn't feel bad, but it felt like maybe it was really cheesy and corny. Not to the point where it'd be like super like cheesy or corny. It's just the fact that he wanted to help, you know what I mean? And solve a problem, and they made him seem a little more relatable. But like I said, I felt like Thanos should have been more of like the quote unquote bad guy. But hey, I mean, they made that decision and went through with it, so I guess that's the direction Marvel wants to take it. It makes me a little sad after reading the comics and knowing the reason is, and yeah. Another thing I want to mention here is the fact that it seems like they want to not talk about the cosmic beings in Marvel. If you guys don't know what I mean by the cosmic beings, it's basically the gods of Marvel, the really powerhouses of Marvel, like Galactus, Lady Death. And they don't seem to want to even mention them at all in the Marvel Universe when they exist in the Marvel Universe. And I don't know if you could say that Death may be a part of X-Men or Galactus may be part of the Fantastic Four. But the thing is, Disney, you have control of Marvel now. Why in the world are you not tying the universe better together into a neat fold? And I would like to say that I'm surprised that none of the cosmic deities or anything, they didn't even seem to take quote-unquote notice in this movie. Like, I understand they'd be introducing a new character and new information, but even just a hint at the end of the movie that a cosmic deity realized something's going on, because like the Infinity War is supposed to come to a climax where the most powerful beings in the universe go after Thanos, and there's no mention of it here, and that bugs me. It just seems like they don't want to tread that water. And it seems no matter how crazy this first movie got with what they was doing, just treading that water was just a no-go for Marvel. And that kind of made me a little bit sad. And not only that, is the cameo for, God, I'm bad with the, Stan Lee felt rushed too. It was just like, here he is, gone. It was just super quick. I mean, I don't expect much from Stan Lee cameos, but I like them to be a little bit more, like, actually in the movie. Like, you know how in Deadpool, he was in a strip club. That was funny. That was enjoyable. In Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, he was talking to the Watcher, telling him a story, and it was just funny. And this was just a throwaway cameo. Like, it just got, like, one and done. It was just done. It was so early in the movie, and it felt wasted. It wasn't really impactful or anything. I don't think Stan Lee cameos are supposed to be impactful, but I honestly don't think this one really did anything to add to the movie or even give you a moment of there's Stan Lee, there's the creator, you know. It just felt kind of like a throwaway cameo, and it kind of bugged me. It really did. But another thing I want to mention here is the action scenes were really cool. They really were awesome. But there were some moments in the action scene where the motion blur, or if it was the camera angle, I'm not 100% sure, kind of threw me out of it for a little bit. I don't know if it might have just been me, but like, wait, what? You know, like I'm trying to watch this active, like Captain America fighting, and it's just blurred, and I'm just like, what is going on? Like, I understand, like maybe motion blur should have been there because the fact that it's supposed to be actually fast moving, but it kind of bugs me when motion blur takes away from what you're trying to persuade, or I mean, to show in the movie. Like, if it's hard to actually see what's going on, and you're adding motion blur in there, making it even harder to see what's going on, it kind of takes me out of it and makes me like, what? You know what I mean? Gives you that moment, um, but it was really good. I think it was really well choreographed. Like I said, just maybe a little bit toned down on the camera angle, aggressiveness getting in there, and you can't really see what's going on. Um, and then one thing that did bug me in the movie that I think it should bug a few of you if you guys actually watched the previous movie, like Spider-Man Homecoming. Um, the lessons that were learned in Spider-Man Homecoming for basically Stark, for him to respect Peter. You know what I mean? Because he was planning on giving Spider-Man the suit, and he was planning on making him an honorary Avenger. He was supposed to be an Avenger in that movie. But like the whole fact that Iron Man, how he treats him in this movie, like he treats him like even before the actions, he treats him like before the actions of Homecoming, and that bugs me. But then Thor's previous movie, Thor Ragnarok, actually had presence in this movie. Like the lessons he learned in that movie about family and not blaming people, it really seemed like, why in the world did Thor learn something? But it seemed like Stark was completely, I don't know. I thought it was really kind of like, yeah, we're just gonna have the same aspect. Like the thing is, you had a whole movie saying that Spider-Man was more than he is currently to Stark, right? And instead, in this movie, it's like he gets treated like a kid still. And that kind of bugs me. The whole fact of Spider-Man Homecoming made it seem like Stark learned that Spider-Man is more than just a kid. He can do more than just a kid. He is more than just a kid. He is a superhero. But in this, he treats him the same exact way, and it just makes me grit my teeth. And then the last thing I want to mention before I give you guys my rating, guys, is it really did seem like it was too easy for Thanos. Like, don't get me wrong, I know Thanos is supposed to be the most powerful being in Marvel Comics because he literally goes off, you know what I mean? And it just drives me nuts that it seems like it was like, there you go, there you go, there you go. Okay, move along, move along, move along. Thanos is done. What? No. It felt way too easy for Thanos to accomplish what he was doing, and it didn't really feel as impactful as if they would have extended it out until maybe in a second or third movie. They felt like they just wanted to cram this story in and go through it as soon as possible, and that's what bugs me. Was those facts, but I really do want to talk more in the spoiler section, but I don't want to ruin this. I'm really excited about talking about the spoiler section because I'm going to nerd out. But for those who don't want to stay for that, I'm just going to give you my rating now. It's going to be an 8 out of 10. Not a bad movie. Nowhere is it above average. It's solid. It's a solid movie. Cover your ears, cover your eyes, for it's the spoiler time. I hope you like that. I know my singing voice may not be that amazing, but I hope you like that. So, spoiler time. Boys and girls, it's spoiler time. Oh boy. Okay, the first thing I want to mention here is something that bugged the living bejesus out of me, is the way Spider-Man goes out. Okay, so if you guys don't know, Spider-Man is my favorite superhero in Marvel. I love him. He's my number one favorite, and that's why I always hate seeing him on screen. Done improperly, because Sony has that weird track record where they get a good Peter Parker but bad Spider-Man, or a good Spider-Man but bad Peter Parker. And this Spider-Man in the Marvel universe right now is, I honestly feel like he's most accurate to it. But the way he goes out was so. It was so. I have to bleep myself here. It was absolutely bitch. Like, I know he's a kid, right? Yeah? And he's dying. But the thing is, the whole aspect of Spider-Man is like he takes things lightly and he tries to always bring joy. Like, I understand that not always that is not he's not always like that in the comics. But the thing is, it could have been a better moment if he went out with like some sort of style. And it drives me nuts that he was like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me thinking Spider-Man is something different, to me at least. It just didn't feel right. It just felt like it was really utterly quote unquote bitch, and I didn't like it. I did not like how Spider-Man went out in this movie. Um yeah, and oh boy, I just had to get that off my chest to start with the spoilers. Spider-Man dies in this movie, and he has a terrible, crappy death, and it doesn't feel earned or deserved in this movie because literally, like at the end of the movie, there was like, okay, half the universe is dead, and Spider-Man's one of them. Okay, it's not like he goes out in a blaze of glory. He just, I'm dead. I'm gonna cry about it in the Stark's arms and move on with my life. Yep, I'm dead. Okay, thanks. You killed off my favorite hero in a stupid way. It didn't feel earned, and oh, okay. Now that leads me to the main problem I feel this movie has. The fact that he got all the Infinity Stones in this one movie, including the Soul Stone that was supposed to be a mystery, and it was like, oh, Red Skull's been there the whole time. Wait, what? Yeah, Red Skull's been there the whole time, camping on the Soul Stone. What? Were you supposed to give a reference in Captain America that he was supposed to be at the Soul Stone? What? Like, I like the fan theories more, to be quite honest. Like, the fan theories were at least cool, and I was hoping to see Adam show up in this movie, but no Adam, none of the gold people, no, they don't show up in this at all. We're not gonna even introduce Adam. No. Hold on there. No, the Soul Stone was literally in the middle of nowhere and guarded by the Red Skull. Okay, and then the fact that they said the Soul Stone to get it, he had to sacrifice Gamora. The only thing he loved. Okay, I thought he loved death, but Gamora, goodbye. What happened to Thanos loving death? Is that even a thing anymore? Is death even an entity in Marvel? Like, if you read the comics, you know the whole reason he wanted to get the Infinity Stones in the first place is so he could be on a godlike level and hopefully have Death fall in love with him. Because he wanted Death, he wanted to marry Death, basically. He loved Death. And the fact that they make him human in this movie seems like they kind of like say, this crazed madman who's trying to get this girl to fall in love with him is now a good guy. I'm like, wait, what? Because in the movie, they make the reason be, I want to make the universe of balance so no one goes hungry or have suffering because of lack of resources. Okay. That's your reason? Yeah, that's my reason, man. I mean, that's not completely stupid, the idea. I'm not going to say it's not a bad idea because you have to kill people. But, like, I didn't like it. I felt like the whole reason Thanos' like reason for getting the Infinity Stones, right, was supposed to be a little bit stupid. It was supposed to be a little bit crazy. But this seems like it's just crazy. It's not stupid. It's just crazy. And it seems kind of sappy because he actually wants the world to survive. He doesn't want to just wipe everything out. And I don't know. It doesn't feel like a right motivation for this guy. It doesn't. And that bugs me. That they don't want to mention Death in this universe at all. They don't want to mention Galactus. If you don't know who Galactus is, he's literally a world eater. But in the comics, after they wipe out the Avengers, right? After Thanos wipes out the Avengers, the cosmic beings band together to take him out. But there's no reference here to any of them. I understand introducing a new character in this would have been tricky. But the thing is, you made this movie 2 hours long, and there's no reference, not even with the bonus scene at the end. Mind you, the bonus scene at the end got people excited. I won't lie. I'm happy to see. I'm probably gonna get in trouble for this. Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel. I'm gonna get butchered. Um, actually gets referenced at the end of the movie. I think that's cool. But you had an opportunity here to actually introduce something new, something people who just watch the movies wouldn't understand and might want to Google it and find out. I really do hate the fact that they changed Thanos' reason for getting his Infinity Stones. I hate the fact that he gets every single goddamn Infinity Stone. Like this. Like, you've been sitting for these past movies, right? Sitting by, having other people fetch the stones for you. They keep failing, and then you just get up, I got all the stones now. No. That is no. Like, before you guys chew me out, I know the Space Stone allows him to instantly travel through space in an instant. And they do portray that in the movie. But the thing is, he sends his goons after the other Infinity Stones. I'm like, okay. He sends it after the ones on Earth. And then he goes and gets the Reality Stone from the Collector. Or, I'm going to get butchered. I think that's his name, the Collector. Oh, God. I'm going to be murdered. Okay. Please don't pitchfork me. But, yes. And then the fact that when they actually get to, like, the Guardians of the Galaxy go to stop him from getting that Reality Stone, it's already over. The Collector is already dead. It's completely pointless. The scene is literally just to steal away Gamora. It seems like this is a really sappy setup just to get Gamora. I understand that he knew that she knew where the Soul Stone was, which I don't understand why they never even hinted at that in the previous Guardians of the Galaxy movies. Why didn't they even hint at that? I don't know if I forgot a scene, maybe from Volume 2. Maybe. I don't know. I don't remember seeing that. Tell me if I'm wrong. But why in the hell did Gamora all of a sudden know where the Soul Stone was? That seemed really random, and it seemed kind of forced. I had a map and I burned it. What do you mean you had a map and you burned it? What are you talking about? Why the hell is this the first time we're hearing this? The thing is, if they would have set this up as a mystery and gave us little clues and hints that were at least noticeable, because I don't think anyone was suspecting it to be literally Gamora knows what the Soul Stone is. It just didn't feel interesting. It didn't feel like it was really a cool like way to find the Soul Stone. And like even the part where Thanos sacrifices his daughter to get the Soul Stone, I was like, really? Is she really taunting him? Like, I understand, like, she's happy that she believes he loves nothing and that he cannot achieve his goals because he doesn't love anything but himself. But I was like, really? You're poking a bear. You're poking a bear. What the heck is wrong with you? And then the last thing I want to mention for the spoiler section here, guys, is the fight with Thanos to get his gauntlet off with Spider-Man, Iron Man, the Guardians of the Galaxy, and Doctor Strange. I really was mad that I'm not gonna lie, I was really mad at Star-Lord. I was like, Star-Lord, are you really this stupid? Are you really this stupid? You're gonna wake up Thanos when they're about to take off his gauntlet. I think the scene would have been way better if they actually took off his gauntlet and Thanos had to fight without his gauntlet for a short period of time. It would have been way cooler than Thanos immediately gets his gauntlet back on because Star-Lord is so emotional. So emotional. He screws everyone over and literally, honestly, Star-Lord kills the whole universe because he cannot control himself for a moment. I'm like, oh my god. I'm not trying to blame Star-Lord for destroying the whole universe because Thanos did that with a snap of his fingers with all the Infinity Stones. But that scene kind of pissed me off. I hate when a character in anything gets way too emotional and screws people over. I really do hate that. That really like makes me want to punch them in the face. And that scene where he legitimately wakes up Thanos when what's her name? God, I'm bad with names. She puts him to sleep, and Spider-Man and Iron Man almost have the gauntlet pulled off, and then he hits him and it wakes him up. I'm just like, okay. So that whole plan to get the Infinity Gauntlet off of Thanos, so he can't just one shot you guys and destroy you, just out the window. No, no, no. Like, don't get me wrong. I understand why the film guys probably did it, or the writers did it, is to say that, oh, he's very emotional. He lost someone he loved, and this guy right in front of him killed her. But I always hate that feeling. Like, one person screwed over everyone. I don't know. That just bugged me a lot. I didn't knock any points off because of that scene. I understand that scene, but just me personally, I just wanted to slap him. I honestly wanted to slap him and said, you doomed everyone because you were being emotional as fuck. uh, but yeah, like I just want to end this with the spoiler section saying I hate how fast he got the stones. He got them way too fast. Getting each stone wasn't really impactful. The fact that they glance over people's deaths very quickly, mind you, because Loki dies in the first thing, just dead. I don't know if he can come back. Maybe it was a doppelganger. I don't know, but it seems very quick to glance over, which I can understand because in Dark World they thought he was dead. So I guess maybe we'll just glance over that again, because like when he actually was like dead, he came back. You know what I mean? Kind of like the Superman trope is no matter how many times Superman died, he will always come back, so don't worry about it. But as you go through and more people die, it doesn't feel like you get a moment to actually like, oh man, like to actually feel these people dying. And it just feels like it's so glanced over, and I'm just like, can I have a moment? Like you could have lengthened out a little bit. I'd say probably about 20 minutes just to add a little bit more story and give us time to actually feel these people's deaths instead of just glancing over it and rushing through this plot and like getting Thanos to his end goal like immediately. I'm like, I honestly kind of wish there was a second movie that gave us a little bit more information than I got here. Like Thor getting his new weapon was really quick. It wasn't really that hard even. I mean, I guess you can say him taking a full brunt of his son was hard, but I don't know. This movie just left me with a weird taste in my mouth, and I don't think I can describe it carefully enough to you guys, and I do apologize about that. But I hope this review helped decide whether or not you're going to go see this movie. Like I said, I don't think it's a terrible movie. I gave it an 8 out of 10, which is not a terrible rating, but it definitely didn't live up to the expectations that I was hoping for. And I was hoping for them to actually bring in the deities of the Marvel Universe, like Death and Galactus, the cosmic entities that are the powerhouses in Marvel. And they didn't want to even bring them in. And before you guys say Odin is one of them, the way they treated Odin in this Marvel universe, they treated him kind of like a normal Thor, not super cosmic being. And I don't know. I think it kind of hurts where the main like story came from for this movie a little bit with some of the changes they made. Now I don't completely disagree with them. I just feel like a lot of hardcore comic book fans will feel kind of like just a little bit, with some of the changes they made. And I just wanted to say this in this video that as a comic book nerd somewhat, like I won't say I read every single Marvel comic, but I try to read a lot of it. And just coming from that aspect, I feel like this really rubbed me the wrong way. And I cannot lie that I was hoping for actual cosmic beings in this. I really wanted to see some reference to them. Instead, it seemed like they just wanted to push the plot along, get the Infinity Stones like it was super easy. I'm like, Thanos, if it was that easy, then why the hell have you been sitting so long? And it didn't feel that earned for the stones. And they just rush past people's deaths, and they don't feel impactful as much as I think they should. And yeah, that's how I feel about this movie. Is just an odd taste in my mouth. I hope going forward the next phase is a little bit different, a little bit more impactful, and less about just moving the plot forward. Well, guys, that's my opinion on Infinity War. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know I got a little bit lengthy in the spoiler section, but I hope it's not too long of a video. Wow, we're about 27 minutes in. I will probably edit this quite a bit, but I hope you guys understand that just being who I am, I just had to really go in the spoiler section because this movie really gave me an odd taste in my mouth. Well, guys, that's going to be it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please recommend what movie I should review next in the comments down below. And remember, guys, to keep on chewing, and I'll keep on slaying. See all of you guys on the next video. Bye-bye!